What's going on, guys? You guys know what it is. You guys know what we're going to talk about today. I've been sitting here, been thinking today it's going to be more of a, addict thoughts type of video today. We're going to drop in some form of news, but, everything's relevant to what's going on. I was thinking Xbox is going to have one hell of a 2023 and 2024. They won Publisher of the Year in 2021. 2022, think we can all forget that. Let's put that in the back of our mind. It was a bad year. But it does look like Microsoft and Phil Spencer, particularly because he did say that in those leaks, that we got to move on and learn from our mistakes. And oh boy, did it look like they have learned from their mistakes. Let's talk about the rest of the year for 2023. We still got amazing Game Pass support from Liza P to Sia Stars. There's still plenty more to come. And we got another exclusive coming out this year. We got the Forza Motorsports game. I myself may not be the biggest Forza fan, especially the Motorsports franchise, but I know you guys love that stuff. People love the simulation styles type of stuff, and you're going to get that here soon. Now, generally, all the Forzas, the Motorsports, and the Horizons, they do well, commercially and critically. So I don't really see an issue going into this, all right? That's just my personal thing on the matter. Now, let's talk about the future. You got games such as Indiana Jones was projected in those leaks to come out in 2022, I believe, or maybe 2021, and the pandemic messed all that up. So things have been just naturally fought and pushed back. I would say you'd put, the Oblivion remake that there has been rumors about for a while now. I actually made a video about that. I'll put it in the description below. Now let's move on to that. Like I said, Indiana Jones, we had that interview with Todd Howard, and he said, get back to me next year over that. So clearly that game is coming sooner rather than later. I don't know if it's going to be a 2023 type of thing, or maybe we'll see that in 2025. We'll see that momentarily. I would say by E3 next year, or at E3, we'll know a lot more in terms of Todd Howard's Indiana Jones game, because he is really passionate about that, and it was one of the projects that he brought to the fold. Then we got this thing. Looks like Fable has reached a playable state, says one of the producers on his LinkedIn. This individual does look like he has left at this point. We can click on his LinkedIn, but I don't think that's really necessary at this time. But you look at this, he pretty much what he's saying here, and I'll leave this in the description below, is he's saying that the game is playable from beginning to end to some degree. Now that doesn't necessarily mean anything like drastic. Let's point that out now. Like, there's a lot of states where the game can be playable, but it's not necessarily ready to ship anytime soon. I remember people were showing, articles where Todd Howard was saying Starfield was in a playable state back in 2018. Now, I did make a video here recently where Todd Howard just came out openly and said it. The game's pretty much ready since 2020, the end of 2022, probably middle of 2022, and they were spending probably 8 months redefining it, going through there and making sure this game is bug free as possible. Even in the leaks from Bethesda, it literally said on there that Starfield was supposed to come out in 2021. So clearly there was a lot of internal delays that was going on there. Then we got this thing right here with Xbox Era. Shout out to Xbox Era, Nick over there. Nick came out with a pretty bold statement. I want to actually have us look over it right now. I want your guys' opinion on this matter. So let's pop over here. Here's Nick over Xbox Air. Definitely check that out. Episode 178. Looks like in terms of timestamps, we're 1 hour, 57 minutes, and 45 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and mute my mic, and we're going to go ahead and listen to what Nick has to say. I, myself, wanted to react to this blind with you guys. But I do know the general concept of what he's about to say. I just don't know how he says it. So let's get on with the video.
A little birdie may have given me a little bit of information about this roadmap, by the way. Something that sort of piqued everyone's interest in that list was licensed IP game. So I asked a few questions about this licensed IP game. So what is that? And after some back and forth and some arguments and some insults and my feelings being a little bit hurt at some of the things that were being said to me.
As long as the eagle's okay, we're good.
I've heard that licensed IP game is under the Disney banner.
That narrows it down to 14,000 IPs.
Yep.
Trust me.
So as you can see there, let me go back to this. It does narrow it down to Disney, but like the other individual said here, that doesn't really say too much of anything. But I can't really go in on them too much because I have been a huge person in terms of we need more mainstream media, mainstream games like Spider-Man over on the Xbox platform. We are getting Indiana Jones, but I would say we need something a little bit more popular. You know, Indiana Jones isn't like not known, but I wouldn't say it's like a mainstream popular, you know, title or IP or however you want to pronounce it, you know. And then that's probably going to be like a 2026, 2025 game, depending on the scope of the game. Now, I know there's a lot of rumors going around there about Mandalorian. Put in the comment section below what Disney IP you guys think it's going to be. Very curious. Going to go through there and read those. Star Wars has been everywhere here recently. It looks like LucasArts has no problem licensing Star Wars IPs out here in the past couple years. So it could be a Star Wars game. Now, as far as like a Marvel thing, I don't think it's anything Marvel related or generally comic book area that related. I'd be surprised, and I would gladly be wrong about that, but I don't think that's the case with this particular IP. Then we got the grand scale of things. We got Call of Duty, most likely going into Game Pass. You guys know I made a video not too long ago talking about the leaks that happened with some of the Call of Duty stuff that's going on now. Now, for those of you, I'll give you a short recap. On the back end of things on Xbox Live, it's looking like there's been a lot of Call of Duties, or I really just saw Ghost that was popping up that was saying that this was going to be in Game Pass. People were screenshotting it, put it on Twitter and stuff, and I think, you know, that is something you're going to see going forward as well. As you're going to see more of these Call of Duty games, especially the fact that they revisited a lot of these older Call of Duties that's on 360, and they did a lot more of the networking side, so those have a lot more of an audience on them, and I think that's actually pretty important. You know, there's actually a little bit of updates that's been going on. I know I might make a video in particular, but it does look like we might get next year a Octopath Traveler 2 Game Pass announcement. Now, they did put in the article, it was a Japan Wire article that was just like, look, we know, I don't know. It pretty much said that and the Yakuza game was coming into Game Pass. I don't want to paraphrase or anything like that. I'm just going to tell you what it said. And that those two games would be in Game Pass. It was like some form of interview or something like that. Now, they did come out openly since those things have been announced to the general audience of saying that that was a mistake. To me, how do you make that kind of mistake to put like a Game Pass announcement, especially when you're talking about the Yakuza games as well? How do you get those two confused? So I feel like that game's coming to Game Pass. It's just they weren't ready to announce that. Maybe they're still working out some form of a contract with them. Because to me, if you're talking about Game Pass and you're talking about Yakuza coming to Game Pass, why would you put that beside that? It just feels like that is something that would be hard to miss. Maybe they meant it was coming out in 2024, but once again, the context was they were talking about Yakuza. The Man with No Name, I'm pretty sure that was it. It might be not that one. One of the Yakuza games coming to Game Pass, and it said, and Octopath Traveler 2. So to me, that game's probably coming to Game Pass. It doesn't have a release date yet. It didn't really show much of anything. It kind of looked last minute kind of thing that was on the Tokyo Game Show for the Xbox live stream. So part of me thinks that that's coming to Game Pass too. The whole point of this video is Xbox has a phenomenal future ahead of it. It looks like they're upping a lot of the content coming into Game Pass. We've seen a lot of it this year. We're seeing a lot of games like Hellblade getting solid, not necessarily release dates, but they're actually showing a lot more context on what's going on, such as the whole studio playing the game from beginning to end, that it appeared. You got Indiana Jones and Fable looking like that they actually might come out within the next year and a half. Got the Call of Duty franchise and the ABK deal slowly coming to a close where they can put stuff like Crash Bandicoot on the platform. Look, I don't normally do console war stuff on this channel. I might make do a little bit of jabs. I think I will make a video on Starfield. The fact that the whole industry seems to be attacking that game for no reason. I don't know. Maybe that's tomorrow's video. We'll see. But besides that, this is the perfect way to compete with PlayStation. We're going to give you value in Game Pass. We're going to give you value in the console known as the Xbox Series S. We're going to give you a lot of solid first-party experiences. They're all going to hit out of the park straight up. Obviously, you're going to have some that doesn't cater to you because gaming isn't just a you sport. It's an everyone sport. So obviously, some games are going to vibe with you more than other games. And they are trying to get as many gamers in a Game Pass, and that will require to upset some other people in the Game Pass because they might not like the same games that I would like, and I might not like the same games that they would like. But it does look like Microsoft, as long as executed correctly, because like I said, those first-party games is the most important part of this puzzle. Hellblade 2, Fable, Indiana Jones, the Disney IP, all of these games have to hit to a point and a valve. I'm not saying they need to be Starfield level. I'm not saying that. I think they need to captivate people like Starfield did, where they at least need to take over the internet for a day or two. But they just need to be really good games that people enjoy playing. Starfield's an 83 on Metacritic right now. And a lot of people would consider that a fail to a lot of different reasons. But to me, what I saw is Starfield took the internet by its horns and then kept that stuff for like 4 or 5 days. And people are still talking about Starfield to a huge degree on the internet, negative or positive. And I think this is a phenomenal direction for Microsoft and Xbox. And this is the perfect time to be a gamer, especially an Xbox gamer, because they're giving you so much value for owning a console or supporting them on the PC platform. But anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think this is that moment for Xbox? And if you liked the video, definitely hit that like button, man. Always appreciated. You can always sub to the channel for more weekly content. I pretty much make content every day at this point. But anyway, it was nice talking to you guys. And until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace. Xbox is going to be lit the next couple years.